Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. And now we are going to work on the biggest question and the highest numbers question of PTE listening exam. And this question is right from the dictation. Two things are very important to be first understood. The first thing is that this is not only right from dictation a question, but it is the second highest marks question of the whole PTE exam. And if you see the marks here, the marks are total 46 and there are total 3 questions. There will be total 3 questions in exam. And out of these 46 marks, 20 marks will shift towards your listening exam and 26 marks will go towards your writing exam. And be sure that आपकी पूरी की पूरी writing का shape जो है, the whole shape of the writing is dependent upon this specific one question because writing के अपने 2 questions के total जो है essay and SWT उन दोनों के मिला के 30 marks है. So those 2 questions where the bigger essay and 2 SWTs are combinedly contributing 30 marks. This one question is contributing 26 marks, and what this question is I'm going to explain in a little while. इस question की अहमियत का एहसास कीजिएगा. The first challenge that you feel in this question is that this question is the last question of the reading exam, of your listening exam. Last question. Last question of the listening exam. Last question of listening. So if the last question of listening exam, the biggest threat is number one. The biggest threat is that students, threat is the time wasted. Students waste their time on almost no numbers MCQs with a single answer in listening. They waste their time on no numbers MCQs of 2 answers. They waste their time on highlight the missing word. They waste their more time on highlight the correct summary. When they waste their time on these 4 questions of listening, which are total of maximum 5 marks, students put this question at the stake. So what you should do? आपको MCQ single answer, double answer, highlight the correct word and highlight the correct summary, select the missing word and highlight the correct summary. चारों सवाल MCQ single answer, MCQ double answers. Number 3, highlight the correct summary and select the missing word. चारों questions को recording सुनने के बाद you have to do it in the seconds as what I have told you people. So seconds में उनको answer करना है. जब आप इस question पे पहुंचे तो याद रखिएगा, you should have at least 5 to 6 minutes in your hand to effectively work on this question, because this question is not only meaning something for the listening exam, but actually this question is meaning a lot for the whole PTE score. Because if this question is stronger, that means that your listening will be at the higher node and then your writing will be automatically on the higher node. एक बात याद रखिएगा, PTE exams में जिसका speaking ऊपर चला गया, speaking is good, whose speaking is in higher bands, believe me, his listening is in higher bands. Listening is good. अगर आपका 90 marks बन जाते हैं speaking में, तो listening 80 खुद से ही क्रॉस कर जाएगा. And number 3, whose listening is up. Listening is up means his writing is up. If writing is up means that writing में भी ऊपर चला गया. तो understand कीजिएगा, there's been a huge difference being done by this question, because this question is going to reshape your overall listening and your overall writing exam. So God forbid, Khuda na khasta, dent on this question will meaning the dent of the whole PTE score. So what this question actually is, I'm going to explain that. But right from the question, the second highest marks question in the whole PTE exam after RS, this question ke 46 marks are not difficult to take, but parhal, a very effective approach for answer would be required. So if you see the question and understand the model, what happens normally in exam, we are given with 1 to 3 seconds recording, 1 to 3 seconds recording. And then in 1 to 3 seconds recording, after listening to that, we have to write our answer in the answer bar, what we listen. What are the challenges people feel and what are the mistakes they commit? I will talk a bit later. So now the marking criteria is the content. So every single word that you listen and you are going to write that have 1 number. If the whole sentence is that Pakistan is a very good country. So if there are 6 words, there are 6 numbers. If you miss da means, I mean the da miss karte hain, that means you are done with 5 numbers. If you miss good, you are at 4 numbers. So every specific one word, Pakistan is 1 number, Pakistan 1 number, the 1 number, good 1 number, country 1 number. So what you have listened, you have to reproduce the same thing. One word will contain one number. Be sure that correct spellings would be the compulsion. The word numbers will only be given if your spellings are correct, and there is no negative marking if you write something extra. For an example, if I talk about the quick listening, हम जल्दी में सुन रहे होते हैं तो अक्सर हमसे मिस हो जाता है द, अक्सर हमसे आ मिस हो जाता है. So what I recommend to my students, once you have listened to the prompt, tips for higher bands. So मैं बताता हूँ, नंबर वन, आप जब भी एक स्पेसिफिक सेंटेंस को राइट फ्रॉम डिक्टेशन में खत्म करें, एंड पे लिखें आ, फुल स्टॉप के बाद आ एन टी डी is are. Write these 6 words additional after the full stop. There is no negative marking. What happens if in a speed of listening you miss are and, if you miss the, if you miss is are, or if there is any confusion, तो अगर आपके write up of sentence में अगर उसके नंबर नहीं मिल रहे तो extra words से नंबर compensate हो जाएगा and you will get the complete numbers in this specific prompt. एक तो इनके end पे लिखना. Number 2, याद रखिएगा, कभी there is any confusion, sometimes there remains a confusion. So confusion कैसे? हमें सुना है our professor is holding an economic development conference. तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि उसने कहा है our professors are holding. So मैंने अगर पहले सेंटेंस में our professor is holding लिखा है तो मैं professor को end पे full stop के बाद लिख दूंगा professors. Why I will write professors after the full stop in my answer? Because if this will be a confusion of the word, professors के साथ compensate हो जाएगा. और अगर पहले is लिखा हुआ है तो मैंने ऊपर जो 6 वर्ड लिखे हैं उसमें 1 R additional है तो वो एक R वहां से compensate हो जाएगा नंबर 1 से. और इस तरह से हम लोग अपने confusions को address करके can take the good band. So is are दादा and 6 words को additionally लिखें. और अगर कोई word singular plural confusion में है या आपको किसी word के spelling में confusion है, persistent, if you are not sure PENT है end पे या TANT है, आप एक persistent जो आपने sentence में लिखा उसको रहने दें. और जो confusion है, अगर आपने sentence में TANT से लिखा है तो full stop के बाद PERSISTENT के साथ एक और word लिख दें. If the first spelling will be fine, वहां से नंबर मिल जाएगा, वहां पे गलत होगा तो second से नंबर मिल जाएगा. So what I'm saying, if there is any confusion, write that additional word at the end. There is no negative marking. That what I have meant in the number in alphabet C, and then move ahead. So now sequence of answer is no problem. Sequence में आप उस पैराग्राफ को आंसर करें ये जरूरी नहीं है. Yes, it is obligatory and compulsory when you talk about RS, but when you talk about this right from dictation तो sequence खराब हो जाती है. अगर Pakistan is a good country, you write that Pakistan good country is, so that does not make the difference. It is what the Pearson says. But as the things are changing, you must be very conscious to maintain the sequence of the sentence. Try your level best to write the sentence according to the correct grammar structure, according to the correct English rules. Pakistan is a good country. Pakistan का P को capital करें, full stop पे खत्म करें. लोग कहते हैं capital नहीं भी करेंगे तो फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. Gradually the system and the software, the grading are grading more sophisticatedly. The softwares are being upgraded regularly by PTE. So do not take the risk and write the sentence in exact and appropriate English rules. Okay, so move ahead. How to do it? What I recommend कैसे करना चाहिए है इस question को. I say that listen carefully. कुछ लोग कहते हैं सुनने के साथ साथ लिखें. Do not write, believe me, do not write along with your listening, because इतना छोटा 1 सेकंड का या 2 सेकंड का prompt जब आप साथ साथ सुन रहे हैं और साथ साथ लिखेंगे, you will miss something. What should you do? You should carry your pencil in hand, and जब सुनने की बारी आए, press your hand on your headphone, and then when the recording is operative, when you are listening, when he is playing, listen it very carefully, and sooner he stops, अपने pencil से अपने paper पर जो आपके सामने होगा clipboard पर उस पर लिख लीजिए. Once you are done with the listening, then do write immediately on the paper. And once you are done immediately with the paper, then type in the computer taskbar. Some people say that directly type in the taskbar. याद रखिएगा अगर directly taskbar में भी type कर रहे हैं तो आप पहले जल्दी में टाइप कर लें, खाए सारे स्पेलिंग की गलत क्यों ना हो. एंड देन फिर सेकंड लाइन में करेक्ट स्पेलिंग के साथ रीटाइप करें, ऊपर वाली लाइन को मिटा दें. दोनों ही ऑप्शन ठीक है. पेपर पर लिखें या टास्क बार में लिखें पेपर, आई रिकमेंड मोर, बिकॉज आपका एप्टीट्यूड विद हैंड राइटिंग इज सिंस योर चाइल्डहुड। सो आप जो सुनते हैं इमीडिएटली उसको लिख लीजिए, और ज्यादा साफ लिखने की जरूरत इस तरह से नहीं है, बिकॉज आप ज्यादा साफ और स्पेलिंग के चक्कर में पढ़ेंगे, जो आपने सुना है वो दिमाग से फ्लैश हो जाएगा और आपके 1-2 नंबर खुदा ना खास्ता जाया हो सकते हैं। सो लिसन, once that is over, write it immediately on the piece of paper to assure that आपसे कोई चीज मिस नहीं हुई है, but do not write during recording. Start writing once the recording is over. So now listen quickly and then even write on the paper with the wrong spellings, no problem. If you are going to type in the computer bar with the wrong spelling, then retype with the correct spellings. Write any plural confusion in double. मैंने पहले बता चुका, पहले प्रोफेसर लिखा है तो एक प्रोफेसर एंड पे भी लिख दें, ताकि अगर कोई सिंगुलर प्लूरल की कंफ्यूजन है तो वहां पे दूर हो जाए। Always write 6 words. An is RDD at the end of every sentence after placing the full stop. Because if any one of these articles or the helping verbs get missed by you in the recording or during listening, तो वहां से आपके numbers compensate हो जाएंगे। And say try to write in the same direction of the prompt. Do not try to skip the sequence for the reason that although अभी तक सॉफ्टवेयर इसको अलर्ट नहीं दे रहा, लेकिन अगर सॉफ्टवेयर ने इसको अलर्ट कर दिया और अगर आप लोगों को सॉफ्टवेयर कल को अगर इसकी सीक्वेंस के लिए सोफिस्टिकेटेड हो जाता है तो सॉफ्टवेयर वुड बी लॉजिकल इवन विदाउट इन्फॉर्मिंग यू। So try to maintain the good grammar structure, along with try to maintain the same sequence of the prompt or the recording as what you listened. Okay, so it is what the right way of handling. I'm going to work on the software now, but just look at the marks distribution sheet of this question. If you see the mark distribution sheet, here is the right from dictation standing, and it is the right from dictation. There are total 3 to 4 questions. On an average, there are 3 questions in an exam, and there are almost 46.5, 47 numbers. Out of these, 27 go to writing and 20 go to your listening. So at the second highest marks question is right from dictation. So I'm going to work on the software now, and on the software, I'm going to practice 1 or 2 questions in front of you to make you people understand that how it works practically on exam day. So now we are on the software and we are going to practice the first question. How it works now, let's see. 7 seconds are the prep time. Now I'm getting ready to listen.
Our professor is hosting the Economic Development Conference next week.
In your practice, if you feel that voice is fast, practice first 50 prompts with 0.8 speed, reduce करने speed को, and then attempt it after 50 questions. Once you will be built with or you will be adopted to the speed, then or when you will be adopted or feeling confident to the question, then उसकी speed को 1 पे कर लीजिएगा. Although I have correctly listened that our professors are hosting economic development conference next week, but मैं बता रहा हूँ कि आप इसको अगर slow कर लेंगे तो this will be more beneficial for you people. 0.8 पे कर लीजिए, play press कर रहा हूँ.
Our professor is hosting the Economic Development Conference next week.
Okay, so now our professors are hosting economic development conference next week. What I did with the wrong spellings, I have typed the whole one in the taskbar. So now I'm going to refine it. Our professors are hosting economic development conference next week. So now, what I told you people, if you feel any confusion, so just retype the confusion at the end. So now this might have been our professor, PROFESSOR, professor. Then I said to type 6 extra things. Is, R, N, D, T. And then we are going to press the stop. So if there is no spelling error, we will get the complete marks. If I press stop, there is nothing missing. The marks are complete. Now you see here what I was saying. the word professors was not there, so it was wrong. It was professor. But why I got the marks? Because I have written professor here at the end. So I got the mark 1 number for the professor. If I would have not typed professor at the end, I would have not been given the complete marks. Number 1. So it was professor. So it was not R here. It was is. If I would have not written one is ahead to it, I would have gone for one more lesser number. So I would have been at the 8. I have missed the here. If I would have not written this the at the end, एक number और कम हो जाता, and despite of 10, I would have been on the 7 marks. It is what the advantage of writing the extra words at the end, along with any confusion in the singular or the plural word, or any confusion of any word in which you are confused in spelling of the word. So उस स्पेलिंग को, कंफ्यूज स्पेलिंग को पहले लिख दें, और जो आपके ख्याल में सेकंड कंफ्यूजन है उसको बाद में लिख दें, से होगा क्या, जो भी ठीक होगा उस पर आपको मार्क्स मिल जाएंगे. समटाइम व्हाट हैपेंस, इफ वी आर गोइंग टू लिसन अ प्रॉम्प्ट, हमें कुछ भी समझ नहीं आया है, इवन अगर आप इन 6 वर्ड्स को लिख देते हैं, is are and dd, believe me, you may get 1 or 2 number despite of 0. For example, I'm retrying it.
Professor is hosting the Economic Development Conference next week.
So unfortunately, if we could not understand and the is are, and if I press stop and I got 2 marks, when you did not listen to even a single thing, you are getting 2 marks. Why? So because you are in habit to write 6 extra words ahead to your prompt. So be alert. It is what the right way. First 50 questions go practice कीजिए on point 8. Once you are done with the point 8, then convert yourself on to speed 1x, and then make a lot of practice daily before paper. Go for at least 20 questions of right from dictation, 20 questions on RS, 20 other जो भी पहले 4 questions हैं उनको एक handsome quantity के अंदर daily practice करते रहिए. पहले 4 questions. But I always tell you people, number 1 RS, number 2 write from dictation, number 3 is reading, writing, fill in the blanks, and number 4 read aloud. हर रोज 10-10, 12-12 15 practice कीजिए ताकि एग्जाम में जाने से पहले भी मस्ट ये 4 questions 200 marks के हैं out of 360. ख्याल रखिएगा. अस्सलाम वालेकुम.